You're about to discover the real secrets to captivate a man, make him fall in love with you, and give you the world. Hi, I'm Bob Grant, and I'm a licensed counselor who's going to show you the real secret to understanding men and how to use it to your advantage. Let me ask you, when it comes to men, which of the following do you find yourself saying? Why didn't he call? How can I find the right man? Why do I always date losers? Why doesn't he love me anymore? What am I doing wrong? Why do some women have great relationships with men and mine are always dull, unfulfilling, and boring? If only I could understand men. The important thing to remember is that you're not alone. Most women, whether single or married, have asked themselves these same kinds of questions. Did you know that as a woman, by virtue of your femininity, have in your hands the delicious power to make a man fall in love with you, influence a man to your way of thinking, bring him to his knees, make him want to spend his life with you, and want to fulfill your every desire? It's true. And the best part is that you can do it easily and effortlessly by being yourself, and not shaping yourself into someone just to keep a man interested. I'll give you solid proof of that in just a moment. Watch this entire video and you'll discover how to tap into the power that resides within you, whether you want to revolutionize your dating life, get married, or spark the fire within your marriage. As a licensed counselor for over 20 years, the majority of my private clients are women who've sought my help in creating successful, satisfying, romantic relationships. More than certificates and licenses I've accumulated over the years, I take most pride in the number of wedding invitations I receive from my clients who found a wonderful relationship as the result of my advice. I've saved dozens of marriages from disaster, disillusion, or just plain boredom. The method I'm about to reveal to you is not based on theory, guesswork, or psychobabble that's disseminated from pop psychologist, self-help books, and women's magazines. Unlike other resources that claim to help you understand men, my strategy is based on real-life feedback from thousands of real-life women who have tried my methods and found that they produce a dramatic difference in their relationships with men. Now, you can find out what my almost magical insights can do for you. Whether you're a single woman who wants to attract the right kind of man or add romance to your dating life, a woman who dates frequently but finds it hard to sustain a relationship with a man, a woman who wants to be married but can't seem to persuade the man in your life to pop the question, or a married woman who wants to spark the fire within your marriage and enjoy deeper intimacy with your husband. You'll discover the secret that will make you radiate like a warm and glowing campfire and give you an aura that men find absolutely irresistible. Let me ask you, have you ever met that kind of woman? You know, the kind that men fall hopelessly in love with whom men want to spend all their time. They want to please and do anything for this woman, for she brings out the romantic and the passionate side of a man, and that makes men want to do almost anything to please her. What special trait or quality or personality does this kind of woman have that attracts men like a magnet and makes men powerless in her hands and makes them want to spend their lives with her? I've personally met women like this, and here's the startling observation I've made. These women are not necessarily the most beautiful, the tallest, the smartest, the one with the most gorgeous hair or sexy legs or the most ample breast as you might think. In fact, a look back in history reveals the likes of homely divorcee Wallis Simpson, for whom the Duke of Windsor abdicated the throne of England, the early 20th century French writer Colette, described as having a frightful appearance, but who managed to have numerous male conquests. Martha Gellhorn, the plain-looking scholar for whom Ernest Hemingway became lovesick and never recovered. Mumtaz, for whom the Emperor Shah Jahan built the Taj Mahal, and Kate Middleton, who won the heart of Prince William. Then, of course, there's Susan Levin, who managed to capture the heart of the famous actor Robert Downey Jr. To this day, he speaks about her in a way that conveys how much he adores her and would do anything to keep her by his side. These kinds of women know the secret to creating magic with men. And here's the good news for you. If you're like most women who struggle with relationship challenges, the ability to create magic with men is not really magic at all. It's a skill which can be learned by any woman, and that includes you. Before I tell you how to acquire that secret skill, which actually already resides within you, let me ask you a question. Why do most women struggle in their relationships with men? Well, there are many reasons why women have relationship challenges. But as I mentioned before, the main reason is that women simply don't understand men. If a woman really understood men, she'd know how to effortlessly attract men like a magnet, make men powerless in her hands, and have them treat her like a queen and give her everything her heart desires. The main obstacle women face in their effort to understand men is that they turn to all the wrong things. If you're like most women, you probably love talking to your girlfriends about your relationship troubles and asking them for relationship advice. Unless your girlfriend happens to be a professional relationship advisor who has counseled many couples towards successful relationships, and unless she herself has a successful relationship with a man, that's very important, it's really unwise to take advice from your girlfriend, or your mother, sister, cousin, or aunt for that matter. By all means, seek the listening ear of a girlfriend if you simply want to unburden. And if talking to your girlfriend makes you feel better, then by all means, have her listen to you. But always remember that talking to your girlfriends, especially like the characters in the once popular Sex and the City used to do, tends to foster deeper and better friendships with your girlfriends, but it does nothing to improve your relationships with men. Now, don't get me wrong. Some of your girlfriends might indeed have the wisdom to give you good advice, but that advice will almost always be based only on their own limited experience and observation. Just because your girlfriend has had an experience similar to yours doesn't mean her advice applies to your situation. I laugh every time I remember the story of a woman who spent hours on the phone with her girlfriend discussing why her boyfriend was giving her the silent treatment, and what she might have done to provoke it, and what she could do to get him talking again. All the while, her boyfriend was just not in a talkative mood because he was worrying that the carburetor in his car wasn't working right. See, that shows you oftentimes how little women know about men. In fact, the truth is everything you've learned about how to attract a man and keep him is wrong. There's another insidious thing masquerading as relationship advice for women, and that is women's magazines. Women's magazines teach women how to look, be, and act around men, and only serve to impress other women, propagating poor self-image and show women how to hook a man by being everything but themselves. Sadly, most of the relationship tips that women's magazines give were written by women for women, and they don't enable women to understand men at all. What if I told you that you could make a man adore you just by being yourself? Yes, you don't have to be anything but yourself. Now, there's just one condition. You have to understand what a man wants. So will giving a man what he wants get you what you want? The answer is yes. And here's the big secret. Men want to be enraptured by a woman. They may not admit it openly, but they want to be lured, finessed, bewitched, possessed, and seduced by a woman, and they don't mind surrendering to her siren maneuvers and be rendered powerless by her. A man would gladly give anything to a woman who could make him feel good. Unfortunately, most women simply don't know how to make a man feel good.